Joining me now is Todd McShay, ESPN NFL draft analyst. Todd, let's get right into this and talk about the Cleveland Browns. This is the first time in a long time that the Browns do not have to worry about a quarterback since bringing in Baker Mayfield last year. Just talk about how this changes the mentality of John Dorsey and company.
Well, you're still scouting every player, including all the quarterbacks, but there just doesn't have to be as much emphasis on bringing quarterbacks into your facility and spending that extra time with them. And you can now start to focus on all the other positions and obviously trying to continue to build this young football team and put weapons around Baker Mayfield to make sure he's protected.
So with that, what are some of the pieces of the puzzle the Browns now need to go after during this NFL draft?
I think they could use defensive line help. Defensive tackle, you could go opposite that with try to get Myles Garrett, another pass rusher opposite him. Very deep class in terms of defensive linemen this year. So I think at defensive tackle, you can probably use a second-round pick. They've got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. I think at offensive tackle, Andre Dillard from Washington State is a guy who I think is the best pure left tackle in this class in terms of athleticism. There's other guys like Jonah Williams out of Alabama. But to me, if you're looking for that left tackle, I think Dillard's probably the only, like I said, pure, true left tackle in this class in the first round. And I think he will probably come off the board somewhere around that pick 17, which is Cleveland's first pick in the first round.
On the offensive side of the ball, everyone's been talking about getting a bigger framed wide receiver opposite Jarvis Landry. Is that a concern, you think, going into this draft?
I don't know that it's a concern, but it certainly would be nice. It would be good to have a luxury like that. And there are a lot of big receivers this year. That's the good part. I mean, guys like N'Keal Harry coming out of Arizona State, a 6'4 receiver. Stanford's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is another 6'4 receiver. And we're going to get to see some of these guys this week at the Combine. What do they run? Do they have the explosiveness, the quickness, the agility to separate at the next level? Do they have the vertical leaping ability and the arm length to go and get the ball in 50-50 situations? And I think we're going to start to see there's about 5 different receivers right now that I've got in the first 3 rounds in that 6'4 to 6'5 range. And we're going to see a little bit of separation between them just in these workouts. And it's going to be really important to see what they run and how they test.
Hey, Todd, the saying around here has been trust in what John Dorsey is doing. So for now, he's been doing well. What should the fans expect heading into the draft? Should they feel good?
Yeah, they should feel great. I mean, he's 1 for 1, right? He nailed the first pick. A lot of us thought they would go in a different direction. He takes Baker Mayfield, takes a chance on him, and so far, so good. And then, Denzel Ward was another surprise. I think a lot of people thought that they were going to go with Chubb, the defensive end. They wind up going with Ward, and he has a huge rookie season. So throughout the draft last year, I thought they did a great job. John Dorsey is known as one of the best evaluators of talent in this league. And if I was a Cleveland Browns fan, finally, it looks like you've got your quarterback and you've got things rolling in the right direction. How do you not have confidence in your new GM?
Todd, we've also got a couple of Ohio State guys who can make a splash in this draft, Nick Bosa being one of them. What do you like about his game, and is he still a top 5 guy in your opinion?
I think he is. I've got him as the #1 overall prospect in this class. And, when Joey came here to the Combine, he didn't have a blazing fast 40 time. He didn't have a great workout. He had a good overall workout. And everyone was saying, well, maybe he's not the elite player. Watch the tape. It's the same with Nick. I don't know what he's going to run. I don't really care as long as it's within kind of the parameters for a defensive end. I just think his leverage, his ability to work the edges of an offensive lineman, great hand usage, just like Joey. Those two are as polished as you're going to see coming out of the college level as pass rushers. And I fully expect him to be here to work out, to compete with all the other defensive linemen. And at the end of the day, I'll be shocked if he's not a top 5 pick.
Final question for you, Todd. What about quarterbacks Dewayne Haskins? What do you like about him, and where could he eventually land? Is it in New York?
It very well could be. I mean, the Giants are sitting there at 6. I think Haskins is the most pure pocket passer in this class. There's going to be a debate between he and Kyler Murray coming out of Oklahoma. But Haskins, if you're looking for a guy, especially with Eli there, to go in and develop the Giants, I think, have a great opportunity. You've got a veteran quarterback Haskins can learn from. Haskins has only played 14, started 14 games. So this is a guy that could use a little bit of experience and learning how to do it as a pro. And then you finally have figured out your situation for the future if you're the New York Giants. So if Haskins is not the first quarterback taken, he'll be the second. But I really do expect both of these quarterbacks to be off the board in the first half of the first round. And I think Haskins to the New York Giants is a really good fit.
Todd, as always, good stuff. Thank you very much.